Name is Jordan Skjei. Last name is skjei, it's spelled skjei. It's Norwegian. I've always been fascinated with Norwegian culture. So I thought I would do this speech today in Norwegian to educate people on the Norwegian culture and how they lived. A lot of people have been confused, and according to Christian writings and Hollywood, they kind of misconstrue what the Vikings really meant. First, we'll start off with, there will be three main topics I want to talk about. The first main topic is going to be where the Vikings really originated from, who they are. The second topic is their beliefs, their culture, the way their appearances, the way they dressed. The third one is the tools they used, the shields, the Viking ships, the swords, etc. Some of the stuff that they used to make them famous, the Vikings they are now. First, talk about the term Viking. I don't know if you even know what Viking means. Viking means, and the Scandinavian term is one who fights at sea. They are seamen. They're sea people who fight at sea, and not seamen. Anyway, let's try and the other people throughout Europe, also known as the Norsemen, heathens, people of the north, Danes, foreigners. People around Europe didn't know where the Vikings came from. They just known as the Northmen or other terms for them because they didn't know if they came from Sweden. They're all dressed the same. They're all like the same. They didn't have one emperor. They had chieftains. They're all throughout their territories. The main territories, there were three main territories. There were Sweden, Norway, and Denmark. Norway is a very forested area, has mild winters and cold summers. Norway was number one for having lots of fur trading, lots of animals, lots of habitat because they had such high forested areas. Sweden was another one that was really cold, high mountain, high lakes, a lot of rivers. It was very, very cold climate. And Sweden is right here. You got Norway, Sweden, and Denmark. Denmark was a flatland, and they were more into the culture of the Europeans, and they often did trade and had a lot intertwined with the culture. The Vikings also inhabited all the other lands. This is the three main lands, but they are also settlers. They settled in England, Ireland, Finland, Greenland, Scotland, Iceland, all over Europe. A lot of French kings and English kings often took the Viking chieftains in and had them be like, let's say, France. The France that took a Viking chieftain and had him be the leader of the northern France of like Normandy and some of the northern territories to be able to have him protect against other Viking raids because he didn't want the Vikings coming and raiding them because they were so feared. McDiddle Little talked about the Slavs, and the Slavs were Russians. They often traded with the Russians. They took over Russia. They took slaves from Russia, and that's where the term slave came from, was from Slav. It was the Slav Russians, and the Vikings came up with that term, so I think it's kind of cool. But another I want to talk about is throughout history and throughout Christian writings in Hollywood, Vikings are known for being very dirty people. We see them today as just being filthy creatures, but they're not. Vikings were very clean. They pride themselves on their hair. We all think of Vikings having big beards. They didn't. They had goatees. They didn't have beards. They didn't have any hair on their cheeks at all. The Viking women were very elegant dress, long dresses, long blonde or red hair. They often tied the hair in a knot in the back. So Vikings were dirty creatures, and they weren't just barbarians like people think, as in killing, murdering, sacking towns. They were often settlers. They helped settle in Ireland and other places, maintaining livestock. And here's some pictures of some combs that they often used. They found in burial sites. This is the Thor's hammer of the religion. The Vikings first were paganism. Done?
30 seconds.
Okay. The Vikings were first pagans, and then they converted to Christianity. So, in conclusion, the Vikings weren't all pagans and all bad and all dirty. They were actually very clean people, and they converted Christianity in about in 1100s. And for there on that was the end of the Viking Age.